Hello, friends. Welcome on back. Episode 11 Gaming Nonsense coming in hot this week. 2 weeks in a row. Woohoo!
We're doing
it, buddy. Teddy Kostic joined as always by my co-host, Mr. Avery Fair. Buddy, how's your week been?
It's been long. You know, the last 2 weeks I've only worked 3 days out of the possible 5.
Yep.
First work week of Monday through Friday, and it was hell.
Okay.
But
yeah,
got through it.
That sounds about right. Hey, look at us. Back again. Second week in a row. We're keeping up with it in 2018. Some interesting stuff coming everybody's way this week. Of course, a lot of people probably know. Maybe if you don't, if you haven't been on Twitter, there was a Nintendo Direct Mini, I think is what they called it, 2 days ago now. So we'll do a rundown of that. As we mentioned, talk about how video games are monetized a little bit. We have some thoughts on that and some things we've seen in some newer games coming out that could be interesting. Change up the kind of $60 per copy, just standard thing we've seen for 10, 15 years now.
Yeah.
And then a few other non-gaming related things coming in towards the end of the show. So that being said, I think we'll go ahead and jump on into it. Nintendo's got some stuff going on. What do they got?
Yeah, they had their Direct yesterday, and first of all, they announced Mario Tennis Aces coming in this spring. Our good friend Nick Dietz is very excited about that.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to include a story mode for the first time in the franchise since the Game Boy Advance Mario Tennis Power Tour. So that'll be interesting to see how that does well on the Switch. I remember playing Mario Tennis on the GameCube, I think.
I think GameCube was the last time I played it too.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes. Moving forward, Pokken Tournament Deluxe, they're going to start getting a battle pack. The first wave is going to launch on January 31st. And I'm going to try and pronounce these Pokemon names. It's going to include Aegislash. That's a battle Pokemon. Rayquaza and Mimikyu as support. And then March 23rd will be Wave 2, where you have the classic Blastoise, the OG, as a battle Pokemon, and Mew and Celebi as support. So, there's that.
I mean, I don't really have any thoughts because I haven't played it, obviously. Maybe not obviously. Then again, it seems weird. When I remember watching through this and seeing, Blastoise coming, I was like, wait, what? You have a Pokemon game that Blastoise isn't in? It seems kind of weird.
I played the demo of it, and it's decent. You know, it's your typical fighting game.
Yeah.
It's just with Pokemon, and it kind of has a little similarities to the old Pokemon Stadium back in the day on N64. But I mean, I don't think anything will top that. Yeah. But no, it's fun. It's a fun game.
Yeah, fair enough.
Moving forward, a new mode is going to come to Super Mario Odyssey in February. It's called Luigi's Balloon Hunt. So players will have the option to either hide or find a balloon. Either choice, you'll have 30 seconds to do so. Also, there's going to be 3 new outfits coming for Mario's collection. We'll see some sunshine shades, a musician hat, and knight armor. And, that has a corresponding hat and outfit with those 3. Plus, there'll be a few new photo filters. I know I spent a lot of time taking photos throughout Odyssey as well as, Horizon Zero Dawn and things like that. Yeah. I hope games do a lot more with the ability to take photos and things like that. I like doing that stuff and just kind of posting all sorts of cool artistic photos you can take throughout your gameplay.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things that I know it exists when I go into a game like Mario Odyssey or something, then I just forget about it as I'm playing through it. And then maybe 3/4 of the way through the game, something will happen. I'll be like, I want to take a screenshot of that. So I'll do it. And then I'll remember all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm not going to go back and retake screenshots. So I end up finishing like Horizon and Mario Odyssey probably like 10, 15 screenshots each, and that was it.
And then at the end, you're just cranking through screenshots kind of make up for the lost screenshot. It's like, let me just take
change
5 different ones.
So that's cool though. I like that. Yeah. Are you going to get back in and play any more Super Mario Odyssey now? You know this, or are you just kind of done with it for now?
No,
you're done with it. Unless they add a new kingdom or something of that sort.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Moving forward, a lot of people like this. I don't think you and I are gonna touch this at all, but Dark Souls Remaster has been announced, so that's gonna come out for Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Yep.
That's gonna include the Artorias of the Abyss DLC, and it's gonna have improved frame rate for the PS4 Pro, Xbox One, and PC. It can offer 4K and 60 FPS. For the Switch on TV mode, it'll be 1080p and 30 FPS. That game originally came out in 2011, so it's been a while. I know a lot of people, played through Dark Souls 3. I think that came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Right, to end the franchise with that. And a lot of people have been big fans of Bloodborne. I think I played that through the first 20 minutes before I just quit. So I don't know. I guess I'm not a very good gamer after all.
Yeah, it's
those games are hard.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, like, you come to me maybe in college when I feel like I had more time to just play games. Then
yeah.
The problem is now I got to prioritize over all these different games. I'm probably not going to want to sit and play some massive game where you just get slaughtered all game long, have to redo things over and over and over again because it's so difficult.
I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying, they love the idea of playing Dark Souls, anywhere they can go. I'm sure they'll love that until the reports start coming out with Switches being broken in half, Switches being thrown off cliffs. There's gonna be one guy out there who just hates it. Is just,
So probably I don't know. Maybe something random will happen. Probably pass.
Yeah. Kirby Star Allies will be releasing March 16th. It's going to emphasize on co-op play. Apparently, players will be able to merge their different abilities together to create, unique attacks, things like that. For example, they were showcasing two players with ice and water, and they created an attack called an Icicle Lance. So that'll be something, maybe either couch co-op or just online, which surprisingly Nintendo didn't really go into much with their online, but talk a little bit more later about what Nintendo didn't include in the Direct. Also, a couple ports coming from Wii U. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze dropping on May 4th. Avengers Infinity War Day, May 4th.
Well, there you go.
As well as Hyrule Warriors sometime in the spring. Both of those games received pretty decent to very good scores from IGN, with Donkey Kong getting a 9 out of 10 and Hyrule Warriors getting a 7. If there was one game one piece of news out of all of these that kind of drew my attention, it would probably be Donkey Kong. I really liked that game growing up, so I don't know if, it depends on what's coming out later in May, but I mean, I don't anticipate getting it, but maybe if the price is right.
If the price is right and there's a lull for a couple weeks, maybe pick it up.
Right, exactly. So there's that. And also, last but not least, they announced a game that I actually hadn't heard of until this announcement, World Ends With You Final Remix later this year. It originally came out 10 years ago on the Nintendo DS. Once again, it received a 9 out of 10 from IGN. And I just looked on Wikipedia what it was about, and it sounded pretty cool. It's stationed in a fictional version of Shibuya in Japan, which was actually one of the towns that was in Persona 5.
Yeah.
And so it looks like it's just a game about when you're someone's dead and they can battle these things called Reapers to either climb up the spiritual scale or they can possibly be born again. So it sounds actually pretty interesting, and maybe I'll look more into it when we start seeing a definitive release date, possibly.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. It's and I think that's the last of the games here. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think about the Direct. Like, there's particularly for me, Tennis and then Donkey Kong probably are the two that stand out that I have the highest chance of playing. I'll probably definitely pick up Tennis. I just think about it still. It's like I still got to play Zelda, so I'm probably not going to want to play these other games till I get through that. And then I still want to pick up Mario Kart and just play through Mario Kart, but that can be a side thing. So
yeah, it's true. And then a couple of things that they didn't talk about was again just a general online functionality. The virtual console that still hasn't been discussed, and that's. I mean, I was talking to a coworker, and we're saying that maybe last year they didn't talk much about it because they were able to sustain themselves because of Zelda and then Mario Odyssey to sandwich the year.
For sure.
But going into 2018, they don't have a Zelda Breath of the Wild to kickstart 2018. Basically,
Yeah.
they don't have that type of game for them. So it's going to be interesting to see how long the Switch can last with these low end ports and these remastered games and third parties. But I mean, so far it's doing well. Plus, no real news on the new Metroid. No real news on the core console Pokemon game, which I didn't really expect to hear anything from those things. But again, those were the things that were absent. From the direct.
I think those are the things sooner rather than later they're going to have to start talking about, or people are going to. I mean, not saying people get tired of playing ports or games that they played 10 years ago on whatever it might be, but I don't know. For me personally, there's only so many games you can remaster to keep people interested, right? Like, you got to have some new IP eventually.
You'd like to think there's going to be a new Super Smash coming soon, right? I mean,
Super Smash on the Wii could be interesting. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you'd like to think. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. This was just, 2 days ago now. When's the first thing come out? Did anything drop immediately, or is it all in the next couple of weeks?
Let's see. The direct was on Thursday, and the first thing looks like would be the battle pack for the Pokken tournament on the 31st.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'll be interested to see. Particularly, I'd be interested in like tennis and DK and stuff come out and see what the sales and for those particular games are looking like. Tennis will be interesting because I feel like it's not the most powerhouse of Mario universe type games. If you just think of all the different Mario genres, but
yeah,
I don't know. To me, it's always a game I had fun playing back on I guess it was mostly GameCube. So we shall see.
Yeah.
All right. Next on up, we are going to talk a little bit. Something we mentioned at the end of the last show, how games are kind of priced these days, and some things that we're seeing that are interesting. Particularly, I think this is coming up because we've been playing a lot of Fortnite, and the pay to play model, I guess, for Fortnite is different than a lot of other bigger games that are popular right now. So Fortnite, for those that don't know, there's kind of two options to play the game. The Battle Royale, which is the most popular, you see people streaming on Twitch and all that kind of stuff, is free to play. Just go to Epic's website, download it, you play it. There's also the campaign that's being built out, and you do pay for that. And I know you just picked it up recently on the Steam sale, I think.
Yeah, I bought it. They had Epic just had their own sale for it. It was like 50% off
just
on a
straight
lot of
through
things.
Epic.
So
Okay.
yeah, and I purchased like the deluxe version or something because it was only $30 instead of like 60, and so it came with a skin, and it came with some things that kind of help you get started throughout the campaign. And the campaign was very interesting to start off because, again, you kind of saw, because in Battle Royale there's that storm that comes in, and so in the campaign it's a storm that comes, and these husks that they're called, they come up and they're essentially the enemy. And you start off as the survivor. You found this one base, you save these people, and then you start building your own base, and then you go venture off into the map, and and you help people to clear out parts of the storm and things like that. But it came to a point where, like, to advance in the campaign, it wasn't so much of just clearing the level of like doing that to clear the storm. It was these weird things like, oh, I have to loot a chest, or I have to find 3 ammo boxes or something like that. And it's like, I understand that, but it's come to a point where you're not doing the objective then of maybe looking for survivors or trying to kill the enemy. You're just off on your own. Like when I did the treasure chest, I wasn't anywhere near my teammates. I was off doing my own thing, looting houses, trying to find it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. I wonder. I mean, okay. So first of all, when you pick that up, you play the campaign. Do you got some sort of? I think the currency is V-Bucks, right, on Fortnite, similar to whatever
V-Bucks.
Like that you'd get the silver coins on Destiny or things like that. So V-Bucks, what do you get for buying the game? Do you get some sort of like starter pack? You just get a set dollar amount. You can spend it on skins or things like that.
So like for this deal, I think I got about 500 V-Bucks right away, and then After that, you can earn V-Bucks through completing certain missions, because each mission you get certain rewards, and sometimes they would be V-Bucks. Other than that, the only way you're able to obtain V-Bucks is either straight using your own money, or you can purchase the Battle Pass, which I also did. And it's like, you know how in Fortnite you increase level, you get XP after every game that you play, and that'll increase your level. Now the level is, if you don't have the Battle Pass, it's just meaningless basically in terms of just matching with people close to your level skill. Or with the Battle Pass, you would increase those tiers. You would get these little, like, it looks like army pins basically, and it's like every 10 you increase a tier. And each tier has different rewards associated with them. So sometimes you would get an emote, sometimes you would get a skin or V-Bucks, or a new glider or something like that. And so that's a way to get other items like that. But I think Fortnite is doing something interesting here in the terms of having a free multiplayer where, like you said, it's very popular on Twitch. So you have big guys like Summit, Ninja, Seas, even Tim the Tatman now playing this free multiplayer game. And, combined on average, they're probably streaming to, close to 250, 300,000 people, I would say, on average, out of those four.
Throughout the week, if you add up all,
And so if you have all of those people, and that's just, the week, and they play all the time, if only half those people, if half those people go to play the game and download it, then, you would like to think that a fraction of those people are going to actually buy the campaign, or at least at least buy V-Bucks to purchase skins, because I've been very tempted to buy the V-Bucks to get some cool ass skins, but I would like to at least get better at the game first. But looking forward to that model, like say look at a Halo 5 for example. Halo 5 had a phenomenal multiplayer, had a shitty ass campaign. So if Halo 5 would have adjusted to the Fortnite model, let's say they had the multiplayer for free, and then they charged the campaign, $40, and any type of cosmetic or extra stuff like that is locked behind the campaign, then players can either enjoy the phenomenal multiplayer experience for free, or they can either purchase in-game currency to access those cosmetics, or they would purchase that campaign, which is what the developer wants you to do. And it's kind of a way to show, hey, we believe in our product, to give it to you for free, because then you're going to spread it word of mouth to other people that, hey, you should download this game. They download it, someone likes it, they want to at least get more from it.
It's kind of like not really. Sort of like a permanent beta, or like an extended demo, or something of that sort. Because like back in the day, I remember if you had I don't know, if you used to get some games, you get like a little demo disc. Like I'm talking 10 years ago for whatever game it would be, right? And you put that in, and maybe you get to play for 10, 15 minutes, and the game was coming out a month later or 2 weeks later. It just came out, and then you go pick it up if you wanted. I feel like particularly now, where not everything, most things are purchased through digital means, meaning the PlayStation Network or on Steam or on whatever, and people are watching these streams or on Twitter seeing their favorite people talking about this or playing this, particularly if it's not a big AAA game. Like maybe a Halo wouldn't be, I get the point you're trying to say, but maybe Halo would be the best example, because let's be honest, people are going to pay $60 to play Halo. It's Halo. But if there's maybe some middle market or lower market type games that maybe wouldn't get the pull of a Halo or a Call of Duty or a Destiny or something like that, like why not structure your cost a little bit in terms of how people have to consume and pay for the game, so people get in a lower cost, try it out. If they like it, people will probably buy stuff. I don't know. Me personally, I'm pretty good about not buying things if it's free to play and it's not going to change. It's not going to change my experience in the game. Like I haven't necessarily always been the hugest cosmetic person. Like I didn't spend any currency in Destiny to get cosmetics, things like that. But if it's a game that sticks around for many months, or you're playing 10, 20, 30 hours a week with your friends, you're playing hundreds of hours this game like a lot of people play for Fortnite right now. Like, let's be honest, at some point or another, even the strongest of people are going to break and spend 10, 20, 30, 40 bucks on something in the game that they probably wouldn't have paid $60 up front for to get into the game at all, right? So it's interesting. I think it's a good opportunity for people. Sorry, real quick. I think it's just a good opportunity for people at the non-massive game level to get a bigger audience into their games. And hey, maybe you get a real big audience. You're kind of stuck into that model. I feel like you couldn't have a Fortnite come out with Fortnite 2 and it'd be like, oh, everybody has to pay to play the game. I don't think that would work. I don't know. It's a business decision, but it's definitely an interesting way to look at pricing, since it's kind of just been free and or $60 for a lot of games for a long time, right?
Right, and that's exactly what I'm saying, is that when you have, you know, something like Fortnite, where you can bring in just a massive amount of people in, and then odds are, you know, you're going to get a certain amount of people that are going to end up buying, you know, or using some sort of money to further their experience with that. And you know, moving forward with Fortnite, it's like you can either incorporate some sort of loot box system like Overwatch has, and Overwatch is also a very interesting case because it's like, you know, a lot of people have argued that maybe Overwatch isn't a $60 game because it's just multiplayer, and it's like you just have cosmetics, and the, you know, we had our frustrations with the loot boxes of Overwatch because you'd get, you know, 3 greens and a blue.
Yep, classic.
And, you know, it's something where I understand the system. I understand the business side of it, of the, you know, developers and things like that. But looking at the consumer side, it's like, why can't we have a system where, like how Overwatch does, where if you get replicates, you get a currency where you are able to, I guess, use them to buy certain other cosmetics. Or even still, like in Fortnite, they have the V-Bucks, right? But in I can't think of the word, but like the difference between how much something costs compared to the amount of money, the amount of real money it costs to buy V-Bucks, it doesn't really add. It's not equal a lot because it costs, say, $10 to buy 1,000 V-Bucks, but one skin is 1,200.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. I understand the business aspect of it, but it's like you have to try and, you know, find a middle ground where it's like, we get it, like maybe give us the option of buying a skin with real money. Like say, hey, I can buy that specific skin for $5. Okay.
It's interesting. I don't know if you read the This Week at Bungie post yesterday. Probably not. I didn't send it to you. I'm a bad friend. But they were talking about the roadmap for the next 3, 6, I guess the rest of the 2018 roadmap for Destiny 2, and how they're going to address, you know, a lot of the community feedback around just having to roll random things and not getting weapons that they want. And they're just having to go decrypt stuff, and it gets duplicates over and over. Kind of like Overwatch, right? Like you take a legendary engram and you'd get the same thing 3 times in a row. It's like, okay, that's not great. So they're putting things in place. I'm not going to go through it all here, but they're putting things in place to basically make it less random and have different ways, maybe playing a strike. You specifically know you finish that strike and you'll be rewarded with this legendary or this sparrow or this skin or whatever it is. So you have a way to specifically go out and get exactly what you want, rather than just having to do the random lottery over and over and over again. And they're doing that a lot of different ways in the game. They're going to let you buy different legendaries and things that you'd have to get through engrams before using legendary shards, because a lot of people aren't using all their legendary shards. So like putting ways in the game to get specifically what you want, and then again you could still just go buy the currency, and you can buy exactly what you want now, rather than having to buy currency and do, you know, go decrypt a whole bunch of things and maybe get what you want, maybe not get what you want. So I think there's some sort of like, to me, there's some sort of, I know the way Overwatch is, you're going to have your loot boxes, and maybe you spend $20 on loot boxes and you still don't get what you want. It is what it is. Maybe you won't get enough currency to go buy what you want, and you just got to buy more. You just got to keep playing more. I think even in the last community update from Jeff for Overwatch, they're going to let people start not specifically, but I think he mentioned something about how the loot boxes are going to work, where it's going to be less duplicates or more, you know, if they're in a certain event in the part of the year, more percentage of that coming up in the loot boxes, things like that.
Oh, okay, good.
So that people aren't just stuck there just throwing money into, like, it's like gambling, dude. It's straight gambling, just trying to get what you want right now in some of these games. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all interesting. Like, I don't necessarily have a problem with a lot of these microtransactions unless it's particularly pay to win. Like, I know people complain about Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
We talk about Overwatch and Destiny. Those are pretty cosmetic stuff for the most part that you would pay for.
Right.
It's interesting though. It's definitely interesting. I think there's some cool changes happening in the way the games are paid for. So hopefully people continue to kind of explore that the next couple of years and don't just go back to $60.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think there's necessarily a,
Right or wrong.
other than what EA did with Battlefront, I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong, definitive route. It's kind of just trial and error, seeing what works, what doesn't, and just evolving from that.
Yeah. I mean, I think microtransactions are here to stay, so just figure out the best way to deal with it, and we look back maybe to now in 5 years. Maybe it's normal for us to pay $40 for a game or $50 per game, and then just not necessarily expect to pay that in terms of microtransactions, but maybe everybody does spend $10 or $20, and you end up paying the same amount. You just have more leniency to go by whatever specific skins or things you want rather than having to roll it randomly. I don't know.
Right.
We'll see what happens. It could be interesting for sure. All right, we beat that into the ground pretty well. Let's move on. We've got some random news coming up here.
Random news.
Some gaming related, some not gaming related. I'll let you run us through it since you put the list together, but there's some good stuff in here for sure.
Let's see. Kick us off with Deadpool 2 got moved up from June 1st to May 18th.
I'll take that.
A lot of the times you don't see movies releasing sooner, so I like that. Warner Bros. Sets the Shazam release date for April 5th, 2019. Shazam, previously known as Captain Marvel, he's known as Earth's mightiest mortal.
I thought that was me.
We'll see how that goes. What? All right.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes. Warner Brothers is still dealing from the unraveling of their DC universe with Justice League bombing, so we'll see how that works out for them. Another movie that just can't, catch a break, Gambit. The third director has dropped out. Also, it's been pushed back from February 2019 to June 2019.
I mean, makes sense if directors are dropping out, yep.
I mean, if they have no director, I don't know how they can have a release date, but I'm not in charge of that. Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered will be coming in March. Teddy, you're a big Assassin's Creed fan. You excited?
Yeah, buddy. I still haven't finished Assassin's Creed Origins, but I'll get to it. I'm like halfway through. I kind of had to stop playing in November, December because I was just so damn busy. But I'm for sure, whenever I'm not playing Fortnite, that's numero uno on the priority list to play through. I got to finish that bad boy off.
There you go. I've effectively stopped playing that.
All right.
Kotaku reports that Showtime insists that a Halo TV show is still in development, even though it's been 5 years since the initial announcement.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
That's exactly what I said.
Yep.
343 hints that Halo 6 will not come in 2016, but they think that other surprises will be coming. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. I should have had this ready. When did Halo 5 get released?
I want to say 2015.
I'm looking it up. Oh, you're looking it up.
It was 2015, October
2015. So they're saying it's going to be not 3 years, at least 3.5. Honestly, it doesn't really bother me that much. If I don't know why, did they say why it's not coming 2018? They just said it's not happening. Look out for more info.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
Well, it's fine. Like, I think I'm gonna have things to play this year. I would like to use the damn Xbox again, so hopefully sooner rather than later. But to me,
I didn't have my Xbox in my room anymore.
To me, that's right, you don't. To me, if they want to take an extra, and again, speculative, I don't know if this is why it's getting delayed or not. If they want to take another 3, 6, 9 months to make that story a hell of a lot better than Halo 5, then cool.
More power to them. Stars and Lionsgate, they're working on a John Wick TV show called The Continental, which takes place in Los Angeles, the John Wick universe.
Keanu Reeves.
What was that, Teddy?
Oh, he's not going to be the lead. Interesting.
Yeah, he's not. He's going to be an executive producer, and they did say that he will hopefully appear sometime during the show. But, what were you saying about not having seen John Wick 2?
I didn't even say that.
Oh, you didn't? But have you?
I haven't seen John Wick 2. Yeah, I need to see that. The first one was real good. I just... okay, well...
It's on HBO now.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
on
okay.
that.
I have no excuse, and I'll watch it.
Thank you.
All right.
Moving forward into an area that we are not familiar with, HTC announces the Vive Pro.
Yeah, I'm not really in the VR augmented reality space at all.
But apparently it's a behemoth. It's Mashable says that it's gonna have all sorts of bells and whistles. What is this? Resolutions up to 2880 by 1600. Is that allowed? It's a 78% increase. Like, what do you do? Just melt in the mask?
Yeah, I don't know. I've literally never tried an Oculus or HTC Vive or PSVR. I've never tried any of those. I would love to. It just hasn't happened. So I have virtually zero feelings about this until I get to try one.
You've ever seen Sword Art Online? Probably not. You're a big anime fan, but yeah, that show's about kids getting trapped in video games. If they die in the game, they die in real life.
Wasn't there a movie like that?
Yeah, it's a very tried and repeated concept, but that shit's scary. I'm not down for that.
Not down to clown?
I don't think so. This one's right in your alley. Tyler 1.
Yep.
Huh?
Big Daddy.
You gonna take this one, buddy? Nope. Okay. Tyler 1 returns to League of Legends and Twitch. Breaks the record with over 350,000 viewers.
So wow. Tyler 1, notorious League BM, just straight garbage man. He's reformed now. It's been 2 years. Reformed player.
Yes, he has.
Playing League of Legends again, back on the Twitchverse, streaming first day 350K. I can only imagine how much money he made. Broke the previous record held by Faker, who is another League of Legends player. I don't know if you know who Faker is. Mid laner for SKT out of Korea. I think he peaked at about 275,000 when he was on Twitch a year or two ago. Not most viewers ever on a Twitch stream, most viewers on a personal Twitch stream, I should say. Obviously, things like League Championship Series have had more viewers than that. Even Overwatch, I think, was up to 350 or 400 for the kickoff of the Overwatch League. So, yeah, good stuff. Good to him. His bank account's probably looking all right about now.
Yeah, I can only imagine, 350,000 viewers. That's it's a lot more than my average of 4.
It's a lot of viewers, Dad. It's a lot of viewers.
Hey, we'll see.
Yeah.
This weekend, get ready. Dragon Ball Fighter Z beta is coming out, PS4 and Xbox One.
You can play that?
Probably not, but hey, if I have time, we'll see.
Cool.
We'll see. Fortnite added the campfire healing item on Wednesday the 10th.
Yep, that's right.
I saw Ninja using that, and it looks pretty interesting. You can plop it down in front of you, and it heals to a I don't know how big the radius is.
I don't know. You just got to be near it, though, with Team Heal.
Yeah, Team Heal. He was setting it as a trap for some enemies, blast them away, so that'd be interesting. Also, Fortnite looks to be adding a new map city area, possibly next week. They released some photos about that on Twitter.
Yep.
That'd be interesting to see, a new expanded area, because I know at least a lot of streamers in general, like those guys we mentioned before, Ninja Seas, Summit, they know where I think every single chest is in the game, regardless if it's under a fucking water tower or inside of a wall. They just know it's there, so it'll be nice to see them explore new areas.
Yeah, I kind of hope that they put it in the existing map rather than expanding the map, because I feel like the size of the map now is pretty good. Like, without vehicles and 90 people, like, the games don't really drag that long. You won't go a super long time without finding anybody, except for in rare instances. So hopefully it's I don't really know where they plop it in some empty space in the map. Maybe they add it in there. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean that one game where we got our personal best third place duos. That lasted what, like 25 minutes?
Yeah, it's like 25 minute game. Perfect.
Yeah. Moving forward into a more newsy related thing, the suspect dealing with the swatting, who called. Falsely accused someone in Call of Duty that they were, having someone in a hostage situation. He was charged with involuntary manslaughter. He could face a maximum sentence of 34 months in jail and a maximum fines of $300,000. We were talking about this earlier off camera that might have been a very, I don't know, lenient sentence.
The swatting's so freaking stupid.
Yeah. Hopefully,
I don't know.
I mean, it's a very hard situation to deal with, but, you can only hope that some good comes out of it, whereas, people realize that it's a very idiotic thing to do, and it can really fuck people over.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, that kid should be in jail for 20 years, but I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Finally, just saw this before we started up. The Xbox Duke controller
Heyo!
will be available at the end of March for a right price of $69.99.
Yeah, just
So $69.99. I won't be buying that.
I won't either. I got
because
tiny hands, so the Duke controller was
controller
always
is
the
behemoth.
worst. I know.
Yeah.
You go talk to your roommate Avery though. He'll be all over that shit. I'm
Uh,
pretty sure he used to like. It was either him or our other friend Forrest or both of them. They like the Duke
he
controller.
didn't have an Xbox, did he?
Avery.
Yeah.
Absolutely did.
Did he really?
Absolutely.
Maybe I didn't hang out with him then.
Yeah, absolutely. But my small ass hands trying to like hit the triggers on that controller, it's hard. So.
But yeah, that concludes the random news roundup. Last but not least, I saw this on Twitter, courtesy of Ryan Brown, Twitter name @ToadsAnime. I actually don't know who he writes for, but
Okay.
I saw him post a lot of articles.
Cool.
He asked, which game could or would you speed run in? I thought that was very interesting. What do you think?
Yeah, you asked me this earlier today, and I should have been prepared.
Okay, well, I have an answer. if you
Yeah,
want
go
me to-
ahead.
Okay. I tweeted at him that mine will probably be Final Fantasy VII, even though it's an RPG, but I've played through it enough times where I know exactly what I have to do. There's a couple parts where I might have some difficulty, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure I could at least get to the first, disc or so, like somewhat fast. But I'm sure once you look at the actual speedrunning records, you realize that you're just awful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of games that aren't typically already speedrun. Like, I don't want to say Mario Kart or Mario 64 or something, obviously, because that's done all the time. I wonder, the game that popped into mind was Sunset Overdrive, just because a fast, real quick, like, shoot 'em up type of game could be cool. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's glitches in the game. Maybe there's not. A lot of speedruns have to deal with glitches. But I feel like it'd be a fun game. You just blast your way through that, messing people up as fast as you can to get through. It could be kind of fun. That's basically how I played the game, I feel like. So I was just trying to, like, get right on through that guy.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Maybe I'd also try and speedrun Persona 5. Instead of 125 hours, I'd go for 100.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. Can you call it a
maybe-
speedrun if you can't do it in one sitting?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll just sit there for, what is that? What, 4 days?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you can call it a speedrun.
Well, there you go.
Okay. Cool. So we did it. Yay! 2 episodes. We're just on fire. So we'll see everybody in 2019. Cut our losses here. And we're out. No. I mean, we'll both be playing some Fortnite, obviously. I mean, you got anything else going on? I think you have some interesting weekend plans our valued listeners might want to hear about.
Yeah, so other than I'll be playing Fortnite, I'm still trying to crank through Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Blanca also started Black Mirror, and apparently that's a pretty interesting show, so I might actually start that tonight.
Cool.
And then Blanca and I tomorrow are going to go to Ace Comic Con, I believe you can still call that, over in Glendale tomorrow afternoon, and we will be getting pictures taken from Stan Lee. So
Stan Lee, the man himself.
that'll be pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get that taken care of. He's 95. He's up there.
He is. He also has some real interesting stuff going on, apparently. So,
Yeah, well, I mean,
who
who doesn't?
Yeah, these days, who exactly?
Not that I condone it. I'm just saying that I'm not surprised.
For an old ass white man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But regardless,
Yeah.
it should be a very fun afternoon.
Yep, not condoned. Should be a good afternoon though. Hope you enjoy that. Give me some trinkets. Actually, don't give me some trinkets. I don't need any trinkets.
It'd be
So I'll be doing a little weekend trip. So I'm not really gonna be playing that many games. Going down to Carmel, or as you put it in our trusty little guide here, Carmelo Anthony, California, and Monterey Jack Cheese, better known as
It
Monterey.
sounds like you're not. It sounds like you're not finishing a word.
These are real places,
Carmel.
Monterey and Carmel. They're south of San
Carmel.
Jose by about 2 hours.
Carmelo.
I'll be there. So not gonna play that many games. Maybe I'll bring my Switch. Probably not. Let's be honest. So we'll play some Fortnite after we wrap up. Right now, that might be the only games I play this week.
It's just
I'm
unreal.
a terrible friend. So
It happens.
next time coming up, we're not sure. We'll figure it out.
No. We do have something. Next time, IDK. Try and decipher that. And
Well,
then
it's
we're
been
also
fun.
still trying to decide what to rename the show.
Yeah, but seriously, we're still thinking. We're thinking like a cool one-word catchphrase. You know, there's like velocity or door handle. Yeah, I don't know. So we're trying to rename it something maybe a little bit more generic. Still in the obviously, you know, we're talking about movies, shows, all that kind of stuff. I think we should probably figure out a way to bring in some more broad entertainment news too. We'll have to talk about it. But yeah, if you got a name, plop that bad boy in the description or tweet at us. His Twitter's over that way. Mine's right here. I just realized there's a sweater drying on the carpet over there. That's awkward. So that being said, I got nothing else. We will catch everybody.
I think we're done here. The sweater, put it over the top.
All right, buddy. Well, it's been fun talking to you. I'll talk to you right after we end this right now. Let's go play some Fortnite, episode 11 Gaming Nonsense.
Let's get that dub.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We will talk to you next week. Later.